Washington is looking for a weed czar. The state's Liquor Control Board is seeking a marijuana consultant to help forge ahead with regulations about the newly legalized substance. Steve Fox is the Director of Government Relations with the Marijuana Policy Project. Mr. Fox, welcome. Good to have you with us. So many jokes, so little time possible here. Remind us what Washington actually has done.
Well, both Washington and the state of Colorado passed initiatives in November making the adult use of marijuana legal and setting up a structure for a market regulated in a manner similar to alcohol.
So how is it likely that marijuana will be dispensed in the state of Washington, and will this individual be the person who determines that?
Well, I wouldn't say any one individual is going to be determining anything. I mean, they're looking to hire a consultant to help them set up their system. But in terms of how it will be set up, we can look at Colorado as a model, which has had a for-profit system for medical marijuana since 2010, and it's functioning very well. There are hundreds of licensed cultivators and licensed stores, and it's a well-run system.
Tell me about the federal rules governing marijuana. You say it's still a controlled substance. What is the federal government likely to do in these states? Are they going to keep their hands off? What are you arguing for?
Yeah, well, what we're arguing for is a respect for the states and what the states are trying to do. The people of Colorado and Washington have said that marijuana prohibition is a failed policy, and we want to regulate the cultivation and sale of marijuana and take the drug cartels out of the business. So that's what we're trying to do. We hope the federal government will respect that. So far they have, just as they've respected Colorado and other states that have regulated their medical marijuana systems. And we expect something similar here.
Do you foresee that marijuana will be a revenue source for states eventually?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what you're doing is not only generating new revenue from the sales of marijuana, but you're also saving resources by not directing law enforcement to arrest and punish individuals who are using marijuana.
Let me drive to something as a parent of a 19-year-old that is of concern. Marijuana is not regarded necessarily as a stepping stone to other drug use. One can debate it. But it would seem to me that to the extent that marijuana leads an individual, particularly a young individual, into behaviors that are, quote, illegal in those states where it is illegal, that creates a lack of respect that could potentially lead to other drug use. Once you've smoked, maybe you are less inclined not to try something else. Not that the drug itself leads you to do it, but that something happens with your respect for or fear of law enforcement. Could you comment on that?
Oh, sure. That's a big question. I mean, what I would say is that right now, the gateway theory has always been bandied about, but the only gateway that exists is the fact that marijuana is sold in a criminal market, which is kind of what you're alluding to, and that people who go and look for marijuana, which we know is about half of all students by the time they graduate high school, they're exposed to other harder drugs. We're trying to break that link between marijuana and other drugs and have it sold like alcohol. You don't see, some kids might get alcohol from an older brother or friend, but that same person doesn't then offer them hard drugs as well.
I apologize in advance, but very quickly, what do you say when people ask you whether you smoke, and what do you say if you have children to your children about whether they should?
Well, what I say is that I have in the past, and I certainly will when it's legal, and now I guess it is legal in Washington and Colorado. But what I say to my kids, I help them understand the relative harms of marijuana and alcohol and other drugs, and hope that they make smart choices based on the harms of those substances.
Steve Fox, thank you.